I am a gladiator!
When you hear the word gladiator, you probably picture slow-motion sword fights, roaring crowds, and scenes straight out of Gladiator. It looks epic, it looks heroic, it looks legendary. But the truth isn't like shown in the Hollywood. Gladiators were professional fighters in ancient Rome, trained to battle in massive arenas like the Colosseum. Unlike movies, their lives were brutal, dramatic, and often short, though not always completely hopeless. Part 1, Germania. To understand their story, you first have to understand the Roman world. By the early 200s BC, Rome controlled much of the known world, stretching from Britain across large parts of Europe. But there were still lands that refused to kneel before Roman power. One of them was Germania. Germanic tribes lived in small villages, fiercely independent and proud. Rome wanted expansion, Rome wanted total dominance, so they sent legions after legions into Germania. Villages were looted, lands were burned, people were enslaved. And that's where this story begins. Imagine this. You're a young warrior from Germania. You fight for your tribe, you farm your land, you protect your family. Then one day, Rome shows up at your doorstep. They burn your village, your people fall, you're captured. Now you're chained with dozens of other prisoners, forced to march for weeks, hungry, injured, humiliated. When you finally arrive in Rome, you don't see opportunity. You're told you're going to fight. For entertainment, welcome to Rome, welcome to the arena, welcome to why it absolutely sucked to be a gladiator. You see big markets, endless crowds, and the towering shadow of the Colosseum. At the slave market, buyers inspect you like livestock. They check your muscles, your scars. If you're strong, you're sold to a lanista, a gladiator trainer. Part 2, Gladiator School. Your master takes you to a ludus, gladiator school, not a heroic academy, a prison with training. You sleep in a tiny cell. You eat barley and beans to bulk up. You train until your hands bleed, wooden swords and endless drills. You're assigned a fighting style, maybe a heavily armored Murmillo or a lightly armored Retiarius. But here's the truth. You're not being trained to win wars, you're being trained to put on a show. Still, there's one small promise that keeps you going. Win the fight, and you might earn the rudies. The rudies was a wooden sword, a symbol of freedom, sometimes granted by the emperor to gladiators who prove themselves at Colosseum, but to earn it, you have to survive. Part 3, the arena. It's battle day. You hear the roar before you even see the crowd, up to 50,000 people screaming inside the Colosseum. The emperor arrives in procession, greeting Roman citizens. Nobles take their seats, bets are placed. You step onto the sand, across from you stands another man. He's just like you, captured, forced, terrified. The battle horn sounds, and the fight begins. Steel clashes from both sides. The crowd roars with every strike. You slip, he lunges, you barely block in time. Today, you have to fight to live because you are a gladiator. The emperor and Roman nobles watch calmly, entertained. Some are betting on you. For them, it's a game. For you, it's life or death. They might lose a few gold coins, but you're gambling your life. Blow after blow, strike after strike. The duel turns personal. Two men trying to survive. Finally, you knock him down. He's on his back, bleeding. He looks at you, not as an enemy, but as someone who understands exactly what this moment means. Let's say you strike the final blow. You win. The crowd explodes. You become famous. Roman women admires you, and some may share bed with you. You are a Hollywood star. Your name echoes through the arena. You earn prize. You earn rudies. The sword of freedom. You walk out of the arena no longer a slave. You're a legend. But look at your body. Scars everywhere. Bones that never healed properly. Nightmares that follow you forever. And survival isn't guaranteed. Many gladiators died days later from infections or internal injuries. Freedom came at a cost. So next time you watch a movie like Gladiator, remember, behind the glory, behind the armor, behind the cheering crowds, being a gladiator wasn't epic, it was survival, and that's why it absolutely sucked to be a gladiator.